Can one season make a Hall of Fame career? It's 2021 and something amazing is happening. I'm not talking about Jacob deGrom's bid for greatest season of all time, I'm talking about 41-year-old Rich Hill's season. Though his beard has shades of gray, this pitcher is still kicking it in the big leagues. Right now, he isn't leading in any categories, but his performances have had some people talking about a potential Cy Young award. Hill was the American League Pitcher of the Month in May, and since the start of May, Hill has a league-leading 0.68 earned run average. He has an overall average of 3.05. I started wondering to myself, if Rich Hill won the Cy Young Award this year at age 41, would he be considered a Hall of Fame pitcher? Of course, we need to break this down into several smaller questions. 1. Is Rich Hill already having a Hall of Fame career? 2. Has a 41-year-old ever won a Cy Young before? 3. Is there anyone we can equate to Rich Hill who is already in the Hall of Fame? So, is Rich Hill having a Hall of Fame career? The short answer is no. The longer answer is not really. Rich Hill has had an okay career. He's kept his ERA low, and has a 9.5 career strikeout per 9 rate. Hill's early career, from 2005 to 2015, has little to note. He struggled with playing time, only pitching 100 innings or more once in that span, even though he was a starter for his first 5 seasons. In 2007, Hill pitched 195 innings and struck out a career-high 183 batters. That year, he had a 3.92 ERA and a 118 ERA+, which means he was 18% better than the average pitcher that year. Each year from 2016 to 2018, Rich Hill was able to keep his head above water and put together respectable seasons. In May of 2016, he even won the American League Pitcher of the Month. But most notable for these years were Rich Hill's perfect games. That's right, I said games. Plural. In 2016, in his age 36 season, Hill was traded to the Dodgers midway through the season, and almost immediately made himself known. In a game in Miami, Rich Hill had a perfect game going through 7 innings when manager Dave Roberts chose to take Hill out of the game. That move clearly didn't sit well with Hill, who less than a year later, in his age 37 season, was at it again in Pittsburgh. The defensive highlights of that game are incredible. After 8 innings, Hill was perfect, but an error in the 9th causes Hill's night to crumble. He finished the 9th inning with a no-hitter intact. There was just one problem. It was a 0-0 tie ball game. The next inning, Hill loses his no-hitter to a walk-off home run. Since 2014, each season, Rich Hill has had an above-average ERA+, and his career ERA+ is 114, 14% better than the average. Every year since 2016, Hill has made it to the playoffs. He has a great career going, just not a Hall of Fame career. Has a 41-year-old ever won a Cy Young before? Yes, in fact. The oldest player ever to win a Cy Young was Roger Clemens in 2004. He was 42 years old, so even older than Rich Hill is now. Final question, is there anyone like Rich Hill already in the Hall of Fame? Well, to find players like Rich Hill, I found Hall of Fame pitchers. There are 83, then I looked for players inducted in the last 50 years who have less than 3,000 strikeouts and who have an ERA+ of 125 or lower for their careers. That gave me 19 total pitchers. Out of those 19 pitchers, I'll look at Bob Lemon, Catfish Hunter, and Jesse Haynes. First, let's just look at Rich Hill's stats. Career ERA of 3.75 and an ERA+ of 114. A career whip at 1.208, and he has 1,098 career strikeouts. He also has a 61% career winning percentage. We should also note that Rich Hill's best career years happened in his age 36 season and after, so he's been crushing the league as an old-timer. Bob Lemon had a career ERA and ERA+ of 3.23 and 119, both better than Hill. He had a career winning percent of 61.8% and had 1,277 strikeouts. But, he had a 1.337 whip and only played until he was 37, and he saw a dramatic decline in his stats in his last 2 seasons. Catfish Hunter had a career ERA and WHIP of 3.26 and 1.13, both better than Hill. He had a career ERA plus of 104, which means he was only 4% better than the average player during his career. He also only had a 57.4% win rate, 4% lower than Hill's. Jesse Haynes had a career ERA of 3.64 and an ERA plus of 109, both very similar to Hill. He had a terrible 1.35 WHIP, and only amassed 981 KS in his career. These players' stats are very similar, but you know that they got into the Hall because of other elements Hill hasn't accomplished. But it should be noted that Hill has more strikeouts per 9, and if he had pitched as many innings as any of these players, he would be in the top 30 for all-time strikeouts. Hill has some pretty impressive stats in his career, and the age that he secured these stats would make them even more impressive. If Hill can somehow win the Cy Young Award at age 41 and go to his first All-Star game, I can see him going on to being on the ballot for Cooperstown. Next up, we'll talk about Pete Alonso. Is he a better base stealer than Tim LeCastro? Well, Pete has never been caught,